Hi everyone, welcome to my June TBR. So it's been a hot minute since I have posted on here. I was really busy with wedding planning and then the wedding and then just a bunch of life stuff was happening. So I'm really excited to be back and posting again. I have so many upcoming videos that I'm super excited for. Like I have my summer recommendations, my summer TBR, my May wrap up, and my April wrap up. I have a few wrap ups to do and I'm just really excited. And Summerween is coming up, which I'm very excited for. I'm gonna start putting together my TBR for that and kind of coming up with my plans of what I wanna do for that week. Since this is a TBR video, I do have my TBR prompt cards here. So I'm gonna pick just 2 of these and we'll see what books we should add to the TBR based on these prompts. And then I think I have like 10 other books that are already on my like set TBR. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the TBR prompt cards. So I'm just going to shuffle these and I will pick one just randomly off the top. So this one is read a book set in the past. The only issue I have with this one is that I did pick it a few months ago, so I think I'm going to just pick again. Okay, so let's just pick again one off the top. Watch it just be something else that I've already picked. So this one is read a book that has dragons. And now I just have to figure out which book I want to read that has dragons. Okay, so I picked the book and that is Born of Blood and Ash. This is the 4th book in the prequel series for From Blood and Ash. It came out last August and I don't want to get really into it because not only is it the 4th book in a series, it's also the 4th book in a prequel series. So I don't really want to give the synopsis for even like the first prequel, just because that would give away a lot of the From Blood and Ash books. But this one is very lengthy. It's just over 850 pages and the font is like very small. I don't know if you can see that. So this one is definitely going to be a bit of a commitment, but I've been wanting to get to it now for almost a year. I'm surprised I haven't read it by now. So for the prompt of read a book that has dragons, I'll be reading Born of Blood and Ash. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick the second and last prompt. And this one is another one that I've already picked pretty recently. So I'm not going to do it, but it's your next book is a magical realism book. Actually, I think I am going to pick this because there is a book that I recently got that is magical realism and I have been wanting to get to it. One second, I'll just grab it. The one I picked for magical realism is the new Olive Blake book called Gifted and Talented. This is the super pretty Fairyloot edition and on the back it says money is the family business, magic is the family curse. This book is about 3 siblings and their father dies. Apparently he's huge in the tech world, like a mega billionaire, and he leaves behind a will for his 3 kids. All 3 of them are telepathically and electrokinetically gifted, and all 3 are trying to take over this business so that they can run it. I'm really curious to see how this one plays out. There's a really funny line that says, on the pipeline of gifted kid to clinically depressed adult, nobody wins, which I think is just an absolutely iconic line and I can't wait to read this. This one is another kind of chunky book, but I kind of tend to hibernate in the summer, so I think I can do it. Okay, so that is it for my TBR prompt cards, and let's get into the other books that I've already picked. Since those 2 books were both fantasy, let's start with the romance category, and the first is Summer in the City. This one I've already started because we are a few days into June already. This one has a fake dating trope. So our main character, Elle, she's 27 years old, she's a screenwriter, but she has a lot of writer's block. So she goes to New York City for the summer and she's hoping she can like get some inspiration. And then she runs into her neighbor who is like a tech billionaire. I don't know why there's 2 tech billionaire stories in a row, but anyways, he's a tech billionaire and she realizes that she didn't just meet him for the first time. She actually met him 2 years prior in like a stairwell of a club. So they get to talking and it just kind of goes from there. Like I said, it's like a fake dating trope. And this one's also like pretty short, so I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. I love the fake dating trope. The next one I have is Nobody in Particular, and this one I cannot wait to get to. Look at how cute this cover is. I don't know if you noticed, but she has a little tiara because she is actually a princess. Her name is Rose and she goes to an all-girls boarding school. Then a new girl on a music scholarship shows up. Her name is Danny. They are kind of like intrigued by one another. I think Danny becomes friends with Rose's like ex-best friend. I'm not sure on that. And I also think Rose just like went through a series of scandals. So I think she's trying to lay low, and getting involved with someone at her school is not something she can be adding to the plate of scandals right now. So I think they're trying to stay apart. I'm not sure, but as we can tell by the cover, I'm not sure if that really works out for them. And I'm really excited for this. It's obviously YA because they're in high school at a boarding school, but I love a good YA rom-com romance situation. Okay, next, I'm sure everyone is sick of hearing about, but I have A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I'm really surprised I haven't read this one yet. It came out, I think, in April, and I still haven't read it. I've seen a ton of mixed reviews, so I'm kind of nervous. I did start it a little bit and I found myself like not super invested, but I didn't get very far at all, so I'm not taking that as a sign like either direction. In this one we have our two main characters, Alice and Hayden, and they're both kind of like vying for the position of the person that will be writing the biography for a woman named Margaret. She's a socialite, but she's kind of been in hiding for quite a while. She comes from like a long line, like her family has been around for like ever. They're super wealthy, and this book was inspired by the song The Last Great American Dynasty by Taylor Swift, so it's kind of like got that vibe going on. So in this, I think we not only get Alice and Hayden's story, but we also get glimpses into Margaret's story from back in the day. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It does sound very different from Emily Henry's other books, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing. So I'm really interested to see what I think of this one. There's two left in the romance category, so the next one is Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I have heard so many good things in the last couple years about Annabelle Monaghan's books, especially in like the summertime. So what better book of hers to start than the one called Summer Romance? We have our main character, Allie, and she is a professional organizer. However, her mom recently died and then her husband left her. Her life is kind of a mess. She can't really function or get out of bed. And then I think she decides to like do something about it, and she meets Ethan, who is our love interest in this story. The synopsis isn't really giving me much. That's all I have to go on, but it sounds really cute. It sounds easy breezy, like a fun little summer romance, and I can't wait to see what all the hype is about with Annabelle Monaghan. Lastly, I have Savor It, and this one I have heard so much about. I think it came out last year. Or last year's when I started hearing about it a lot. I think it was last year. Okay, yeah, so it was last year that I started hearing so much about this book. This one seems to be set in like a small town in Oregon. We have our main character, Sage, and I think she's going through a bit of a rough patch. Her ex just recently got engaged, so she's taking a bit of a hit with that, and she kind of wants to get back at him. And so then in walks Fisher, and he's like a big time Michelin star chef from New York City who's now in this small town in Oregon. He's in Oregon because his sister recently passed away, so he is now taking care of his niece. And I think him and Sage create this like alliance. I'm not sure what's in it for him, but I know for her, I think she's using it to get back at her ex who just recently got engaged. Not get back at him, but like I think she just like feels like she wants a win. So I think they create some sort of alliance. I know that there's some rumors about them dating, it says on the back, so I think they might do some sort of fake dating situation. I'm not sure, but small town fake dating, it sounds super cute and I can't wait. Next is the thriller category, and I only have one for this, which is the new Riley Sager book called With a Vengeance. This one sounds very much like not your typical Riley Sager book, so I'm kind of nervous because it also sounds like not something that I would normally like. But since it is Riley Sager, I am going to give it a chance. But if it was a different author, I probably wouldn't pick it up. We have our main character, Anna, and in 1942, I think her family is killed, and then the book is set 12 years later, and then she has a bunch of people that she thinks are suspects like on a train, and she wants someone to confess. I'm actually not too sure what's going on with this one, but then someone ends up dying and it wasn't her, and so then she's like all very confused and thinks someone else has their own form of revenge that they're figuring out. So this one sounds very like whodunit, Agatha Christie. It's on a train, it's set back in the day, so I'm kind of nervous for it, I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, I will give it a chance because it is Riley Sager, but I'm not going to be surprised if I don't love it. The next one I have is kind of just like women's fiction, contemporary fiction, and that is called Catfight. I love this cover so much. It looks really cool. So this one I have like a vague idea of what it's about, but I don't want to read too much into it. It's set in like a wealthy suburb of London. There's like a few different women who are all very wealthy and they're all in the same suburb. Then at some point in the summer, they're at a dinner party at one of their houses and someone sees a large panther, I believe it is, on the hood of someone's car. And then all summer they're seeing like paw prints and like scratch marks. I think people's things might be being destroyed. I'm not positive, but it's supposed to be kind of funny, a little bit dramatic. I love the subgenre of thrillers where it's like rich people behaving badly, and it's just, I don't know what it is, but I love something about it, and I'm really excited for this one, Catfight. Okay, so next let's do fantasy. I have 2 for fantasy, and the first one is The Knight and the Moth, and this one I have been seeing everywhere. Like, I've been seeing this everywhere. This one is by Rachel Gillig, who also wrote One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, which is the sequel. This is another Fairyloot edition, so the cover is like absolutely stunning. I love it so much. This one I actually don't know a ton about, and I started to look up the synopsis a few months ago, and I couldn't even really make heads or tails of it. So I'm gonna kind of go in not really knowing anything. I know that this is our main character, Sybil, and she is like one of 6 diviners. That's what they call them. She lives at this, like, I don't even know, place where, you guys, I don't really know what's going on. Okay, she lives in a cathedral, and her like sisters, the other 5 girls, are supposed to do some sort of like omen predictions or something. That's kind of all I get from this. I don't really know. I'm kind of confused, I'm not gonna lie, but I am very excited to read this one. And I loved One Dark Window. I didn't love Two Twisted Crowns, but One Dark Window I did really love. So I'm really excited to read this one. And I hope that this one is also kind of like gothically mystical. Mythical? I don't know, but I hope it's similar in vibes to One Dark Window. Lastly, for fantasy is one that I'm super excited about, A, to read, and B, I got this copy. I pre-ordered it last year, I think like early fall. I pre-ordered it maybe even late summer. Was it late fall? I don't know. Either way, I'm very excited to read Kiki's Delivery Service. This is another Fairyloot copy, and I think this is probably my favorite Fairyloot copy that I own. And the cover underneath the dust jacket is also gorgeous. I absolutely love it, and it goes like all the way around. Kiki's Delivery Service is a Studio Ghibli movie. It's one of my favorite animated movies like of all time, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to read it. I've been wanting to read it for quite a while, and I think it's gonna be perfect for like late spring, early summer. Or are we like in summer now? Is June summer, or is it like the end of June? I always forget like when. All I know is fall starts like September 22nd or September 23rd. That's pretty much all I know. But either way, spring or summer, this one I think is gonna be very good for either one of those. Oh, and this one is about Kiki. She is like a witch in training. She goes off to a small village, and she wants to use like her witch abilities to help the village. So one of the things that she does for the village is she helps like deliver things flying on her broom. I highly recommend the movie. It's my favorite over the other Studio Ghibli movies. I know so many others are people's favorites, like Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, etc. But this one is my favorite, always has been, and I'm just so excited to have this copy and also to read it. Okay, so that's it for my June TBR. I'm gonna do a quick little recap. Okay, so we have Summer in the City, then Nobody in Particular, and then like everyone else, Great Big Beautiful Life. Then I have Savor It, and I have Summer Romance. Then I have Catfight. I have Kiki's Delivery Service. I have The Knight and the Moth. I also have With a Vengeance. Then for my Magical Realism prompt card, I have Gifted and Talented. And then for my Dragon TBR prompt card, I have Born of Blood and Ash. I am carrying over a few from May or even April, I think maybe even March, February, I'm not sure. But I am carrying quite a few over, but I definitely want to do a vlog where I like motivate myself to finish them. So I'm gonna figure something out, whether it's like how many pages I read in a day with like a spinner wheel, or how many hours I read in a day, again with a spinner wheel over the span of like a weekend or a week or something. So that is my June TBR. I'm so excited to read all these books. There's so many good ones. Even the TBR cards prompted me to pick 2 books that I've really been wanting to read, so I'm very excited for those. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. It means so much, every single one of you. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!